sister in one hand, in the other my brother, living with words and with thoughts that are honest and free. Think of the world and its future, think of our children. I wonder if they can respect us for what we have done. Cities and slum, only choke and bewilder. Still there's a chance that the battle for peace can be won. We've got to live in peace. It's the only way to save the earth. Working together for peace, and we'll witness a new kind of life. We've got to live in peace. It's the only way to save the earth. Working together for peace, and we'll witness a new kind of life.
Rebecca, the Angel of Mostar, who's organising Operation Angel to take emergency aid to Bosnia. It looks to me, Michael, as though, from what Sally said, you're going to have to get onto your government and get them to do something.
Well, the government, as I said before, is spending £113 million.
Come on, this operation's going, it needs help.
Can I ask you a question about this? What is it about this money? Is it just not being spent properly? Is the media not focused? Is the media not focusing? I'm not talking about her, I'm talking about generally. She's been there, she knows how these monies are being spent. There's a large sums of money which she said were being spent.
You must want to reply to this.
What's going on? What's going on, do you think?
The ODA, I know, spend billions of pounds on aid out there. Because they're an organisation, the media do not focus on them for some reason. The ordinary British person doesn't know how much goes into Bosnia. I didn't know until recently when I had a meeting with ODA.
You're accepting a lot does?
Yes, absolutely. But I don't understand why, when I ask for something as simple as a statement of approval from the government, which allows 220 of my personnel to be protected by flak jackets, why I can't get that. It doesn't make any sense. I do understand
Have
that
you had discussions with the government? Have you actually talked with officials?
Yes. I think the reason behind
How recently?
Very recently. But I think the reason behind it is because they're afraid that every single aid agency in Britain, freelance aid agency, will be requesting flak jackets, which of course isn't possible.
So how are they going to make a difference between, a distinction between your operation and other operations which you've already said shouldn't necessarily be encouraged?
I think anyone would stand up on my behalf and say, look, there's a lot of groups take aid in, all right, we can't provide them all with flak jackets, but this is an evacuation. It's the first of its kind, an enormous evacuation, up to 500 people. I think these medical personnel, ambulance people, doctors, nurses, paramedics that are coming with me deserve some protection. They're crossing front lines, carrying children out and wounded people in their arms, literally.
And you've made this specific point to the government?
Of course I have.
Directly to officials?
Yes.
And the answer,
hang on,
the answer that you've had, no, I'm not making excuses, I'm just trying to find out what the story is.
The flak jacket is the
point. The answer you've had, I just want to get this point straight. The answer you've had is that we mustn't show precedence,
support you've received from the public. What response have you received from the public, as distinct from an indifferent government?
Fantastic. The British public seem totally behind this operation. They've done everything they can to help. They've been fundraising in the streets, people out in the freezing cold. I get wonderful letters of support. People have put things together, aid packages, parcels, all over Britain.
The British government of 30,000.
Yes, well, that's because we only started fundraising 4 weeks ago. My idea for Operation Angel only began 5 weeks ago.
So what should people do?
4 weeks ago, it was just me and one
ambulance. What should people do? Tell us what they should do.
They should send monies in. We have an Operation Angel account at NatWest, and I hope people would phone in here and ask them for details of that. They can pay into any branch all over Britain, Operation Angel, the Marylebone High Street branch.
It's
I just
coming
don't
in
want to
fast
see
already,
people
is it?
go into debt because they're supporting me with Operation Angel.
It's coming in fast already.
It is,
this
but
voluntary
not enough
money?
people will put out the details of where people should send it to. People do want to help. They've been marvellous. We're inundated with aid. We're inundated with volunteers. We've got 56 ambulances, everything we needed, but we're still short of funds.
Let's just start at the original impulse. What took you out there in the first place? I mean, why did you want to get involved in this situation?
I was watching Sky TV and I saw pictures of the children. I had no responsibilities. I'm an artist, not a nurse, as so many people put out. I just felt...
So you were at home in Brighton watching Sky TV?
Yes, and I just felt that I had to do something that I had no reason not to. I had no responsibilities, I had no mortgage, nothing. So I set off with Medjugorje Appeal, who I joined as a driver to deliver aid because no organisations would have me because I wasn't qualified enough for them. I reached Mostar on the third trip and just decided to stay and help the
Why
people.
Mostar? Why did you stay there?
Well, Mostar was the nearest war zone, the place actually at war, that I actually went to, delivering an ambulance to a hospital there. And there was a Jewish community in Mostar, and I found they'd been forgotten for 2 years. Nobody had bothered with them. I know that the Jewish people around the world would be appalled to know that, but it's true. They were being fed by the Catholic organisations, the Muslim organisations, but they weren't being fed by their own people.
It's interesting to me that you've gone through this experience and yet you have said on this programme that you wouldn't advise other people to go, not just a matter of danger, but it seemed to me something deeper than that. What would you advise them to do if they want to help? If they're watching this Sky programme and they decide to join in, what would you advise them to do if they want to
Well,
help
that was
themselves?
different. That was joining a community to try and help them in whatever way I could. I'm talking about people shouldn't go bombing across the front line. I was there for 2 months before I did that.
Just tell us how you came to be bombing across the front line. I mean,
I was living
what was
with
the
this
reaction
community.
to you when you were there? Did they regard you as interfering, as being an outsider?
Well, they say I was the only aid worker in Mostar at the time, in West Mostar. East Mostar, nobody had been in for 4 months. That was, as far as I was concerned, completely out of bounds. So I was working within the area that I could and feeding people that I could. I mean, I didn't have much money, but what I did have went on feeding people. I also diverted a lot of vital medical supplies to the hospital there that was needed. There was an old man, for example, with a wound that had been festering for 3 months. He'd been hit by a sniper's bullet filled with phosphorus, and they didn't have the right antibiotics for him, so I got those antibiotics. From there, I built up a relationship with the health authorities, and then when I heard about a 3-year-old child on the other side of the front line who needed a vital operation on his heart, I went to the doctors. I said, can I go? Can I do something? And they said, yes, you can bring out all the wounded. We've got nothing against that. We have nothing against the civilians in this war. So I got the permissions from the local general. I went to the UN, asked them for an escort, asked them for help. They didn't want to know, so I thought, right, I'll do it. And I did it.
So that certainly won the attention of the world and the attention of the newspapers. Now, the problem now is whether in going back, in organising a bigger operation, you're biting off more than you can chew.
I don't think so.
You can't repeat it.
I don't think that's true. I think this time it's going to be so much better because it's organised. We have the patients waiting for us. We know exactly who we're picking up and where. We bring them out to Split and they will be airlifted by the proper organisations and they'll be taken to the countries that are willing to accept them.
The mystery still, to me, I don't know if it is to you, Austin, is why can't the agencies do such a big job themselves? I just don't quite understand this. It doesn't, there's something mysterious to me. What is it that you bring to it? I can see tremendous courage, tremendous dedication and experience of the place now. But what else? And I ask the question partly because of what viewers might think as to how they might contribute in future. What is it that you specially bring that the agencies, these enormous agencies, well-funded, with great experience, and having government support and money behind them and so on, what is it that you bring?
Maybe it's just that they know there's no politics behind what I do, that what I do is with my heart. It's not because of this or because of that. They know that I've nothing to gain. I have nothing to gain by doing what I'm doing, other than seeing those people safe and well. The only thing I've got to lose is my life, and so have all 220 people going with me. we all gain something,
Where
which
have
is
they
a
come from?
great
How have you
reward.
recruited? How have you recruited these numbers? Are they people that have come to you?
From all over Britain, people who have volunteered. We've had to turn about 300 people away. Most of them are very qualified medically. The ones crossing the front line with me are all doctors, paramedics.
And the management?
No, I was when I was alone. Now, knowing that I've got so much support, I don't know, it's just completely different, knowing there'll be people scared too, people with me. I'm not looking around thinking, my God, bullets are flying. Do I stop? Do I go forward?
But you will be in that situation.
I'm hoping this time they won't shoot because it's being arranged properly on all sides. But if they shoot, I'll be so busy trying to get other people to duck.
But you're leading other people into danger, aren't you?
That's the only thing that bothers me. That's why I so want protection for them. I would so like to see them with proper flak jackets,
Has the United
helmets.
Nations offered any protection at all?
The Medjugorje Spanish battalion apparently are going to escort us into East Mostar, which is wonderful.
But you see, you can't guarantee any of that. You say you've got permissions, you say you've got arrangements, you say you've got targeted people and ability to bring them out. You really can't guarantee any of that in that kind of situation. It's chaos, isn't it? Nobody's runs.
I agree, but we will wait. We will wait until we can go.
Are you the manager? Did you manage the whole thing as well as show all this great courage?
Myself and Dr. Stewart. We're
are
co-leaders
managing
in
the
this.
whole thing and have got all these people together and have organised the whole thing for them to go in.
So tell us what happens now. Just tell us, you know, what it's going to be like there and what you hope to achieve.
It's World Human Rights Day. That's why we've picked that day. We leave at 2 p.m. We drive to Ramsgate and go across Europe. We go across. Sally Line have very kindly offered us the ferry completely free. They're taking all of us over to France. We'll travel through France, Italy, and hopefully be at Ancona by the 15th.
And back when?
That I don't know. I'm hoping that all the personnel will be home for Christmas, but Dr. Stewart and I will stay there until the job's done.
We wish you the best of luck. More power to you. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
It's good night from me. Good night from me.
It's you, though. Have you talked to anyone about that?
How do you mean
They said, pardon? Well, the people... Quality control.
In the box, and we thought they could probably go on the cheese spreads and on the egg. Probably let's bring the you know, business know about that really. Yeah. And then the big ones are going outside the just leaning over each other. Okay. Right. Just straight out all the way down the line. So
Pate, handmade flapjack.
So just come round to this side at the very end. Just come round this side. One more.
Yeah, it's good.
Thank you very much.
Do you know, I was watching
Okay, cheers.
Okay.
And it's the Express Star. And it's 0982 319 432.
Because Sally might be here, the founder, you see.
Yeah, I mean, if she's here, then yeah.
She probably come here and visit us better.
Yeah, she just come and visit you then.
Yeah.
Well, we've been on, I think, about 4 or 5.
2 years.
Last year as well, and then broke down.
Did you?
Well, I went to Romania.
That's like that whole
Well,
meeting.
it's town.
Yes, absolutely. So, no question, please. But this time, I mean, it's going to be very interesting what's happening at the moment, the development, especially with the UN chocolates being used to get kids out. Yeah, and there's this, the Croatians are quite concerned about the fact that children should be pulled out as well. So both sides want their children and one side to be pulled out. And it's going to be interesting to see.
It's strange, right? Isn't it? I saw that interview with the one who was in charge of the UN British forces. He was just walking down the street and kids were being shot down in front of him. They were thinking about it. He got a tank as the cover as the locking and everything about it. When he was walking down the street, kids were walking down the street next to him and he was shooting the kids down 2 or 3 cars for him. Not hitting him because he was just UN. So.
It's incredible how this kind of thing just happens.
No money, no in Yugoslavia.
Makes us appreciate the
But yeah, let us know if anything local happens, and
Yes.
you know, we'll probably be interested in
Right. Well, thanks for coming anyway.
Okay,
All right,
thanks a lot.
Okay.
Paul, tell us, what exactly are you doing here today?
We're undergoing a project on behalf of Operation Angel. Operation Angel is a project that involves taking 50 trucks and ambulances out to the war zones in Bosnia to rescue between 500 and 1,000 critically injured children. And we're actually supplying the food for the 200 or so volunteers from this country that are actually making the journey. So what we're doing here today is we're actually packaging all the donations of food that we've received over the last 10 days.
And Paul, is it all Mars bars and chocolate drinks? Is that what's going out to the war zone?
No, not at all. We've got a very firm policy within our group that actually diet and nutrition is actually very important for health and sustainability, especially vitality. And when we thought about this project, we decided that vitality was really going to be a key issue with these people. So we've actually tried to provide a balanced box or snack type meal, as it were, including a few treats like Mars bars and a couple of sugar items, but also a whole range of really healthy products that can actually sustain them in very trying and testing circumstances.
What like, Paul? Can you give us an example of what's been donated for this occasion?
Well, in health terms, Solgar have been very generous and given us vitamin and mineral supplements that would be very useful. But other products, Manna Bread, for instance, is a wonderful product that's made out of sprouted wheat grain. It's really nourishing. There's Holly Mill cereal bars that are very healthy. We're using oat cakes and Highland oat cakes and Alpen sachets, sort of muesli for breakfast. So just things like that, really, that are whole products and natural products that would be really beneficial to everybody.
Great, Paul. And tell me, how has the response been when we've asked people to support and donate to this project?
Nationally, the response has been tremendous. I mean, we've had so many surprises. It's been unbelievable. We've actually had people actually bending over backwards to help us. A lot of people really wanting to help us. And the donations that we've actually received, in most cases, have been tremendously generous. So we're very, very pleased.
And so, to sum it up, do you think that the hearts of the British people really care about what's happening in Bosnia today?
I think put a situation to the British people that where they can actually recognise that care and need and love is actually required. I think the British people respond with an open heart. That's become obvious with the work that we've done over the last 10 or so days.
Mr. Paul Clark, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jeff, did you get a film for your camera?
Pleasure with care. Imagine at least you've got...
Didn't have them, did you? Flash. Did it? Yeah. Keep going. Good enough. Yeah. I think about 6 to go, so we'll get one each of the papers.
They're good boxes, aren't they, really? Nice lot of food in it.
2, 3. Hey, has Steve been done?
Don't
the ambulance.
On the next one, which hopefully around about February time. By 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, I understand that everyone will be sorted out into vehicles. Everything will be sorted out overnight tonight, and we'll all be meeting at the Metropole by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. If you can be there, where all the vehicles in fact are there, you'll be told where you're going.
It's up to you, but I've got advised to pull in straight away. I find myself nodding in and change drivers, even though it's not time to change drivers, e.g. between fuel stops.
Yeah, if possible. That's the best currency to have on your thing. And then you must have 3 drivers in your vehicle. Well, you really don't need any more drivers. So then there's ample food, and apart from that, the night ferry, it means that we can all get a headstand for 10 hours.
But it was prudent to pull into the near side, whichever one, break down or whatever location, by the same token no extension. So I think this is sometimes prudent to be
No, if you've got to stop in a war zone, you stop. You know, you don't try to pull over, but the point is, if you've got a disabled vehicle, you do try to push it to one side.
Sizes, transport, right. I can't leave here now for the next hour and a half because I've promised all of this, which will be further back. We're meeting on this, so I can't do much apart from to this room, moving the stuff out of the van because I'm a bit concerned about leaving things in the outlets and stuff. Great. Yeah, I'm not going to do it on my own. And then, if you can do a zoom in on Sally's face, that'd be great. Tell us exactly, what have you been doing for this last year?
I actually done a language course in Serbo-Croat University last year, and then went out as one of the military interpreters with BRITFOR, which is the British contingent of the United Nations in the former Yugoslavia. And this really entailed a mixture of tasks. But the British contingent is the only contingent to have military speakers of any level. All the other contingents actually employ local civilians. And so it meant that we actually, as members of the forces, had a personal contact with people on the ground, and were able to sort of have, as well as a hearts and minds operation, personal contact with people on the ground to find out what their real needs were, what their problems were.
And what are those needs and problems?
Realistically, I mean, particularly now, because of the onset of winter, aid. But aid is not just the main crux of it. It's operations such as this one, Operation Angel, which are going to highlight the problem to the world in general, and also to relieve the suffering of possibly 100 children and bring them from Bosnia to hospitals where they will receive the right sort of medication because of the shortage of electricity, water, correct medicines and professional help.
Having seen the people close to hand and met people on both sides,
Mm-hmm.
do you feel that a solution is in the near future?
That's very, very political and probably sort of, you know, outside of my scope, but it's very disheartening to have seen so many versions of the peace talks, and on each occasion to see them, you know, faltered because one side or the other disagrees with a particular clause, and it creates theoretically, you know, another 3-month delay, which actually prolongs the suffering of the people of the country.
Is it just a few people who are keen on fighting, or is it the mass public who feel that they must fight?
Purely as a personal opinion, I actually think that because the war has now gone on for sort of a year, 18 months, that and because of the atrocities that have happened, that has actually fueled the hatred and has just caused the thing to continue for as long as it has, and certainly doesn't help, you know, the peace cause. And so it would be difficult to sort of point the finger at any one faction. I mean, each is as guilty as the other of the atrocities and the causes.
Tell me, in your own heart, do you feel that you've been changed by your time in Bosnia?
I believe personally that my outlook generally and my whole character has changed. My sense of values have changed completely. And in very small ways, it's things that trigger it. That, you know, you see the shops in the UK absolutely chock-a-block with people spending, you know, hundreds of pounds on very expensive Christmas toys, knowing that you know, situations like this are going on, and that, you know, some people in certain parts of the country don't even know where the next meal is coming from, while somebody in the UK is throwing £300 worth of toys on the credit card, you know.
And do you think there's, that here in the time that you spend in the UK, in your normal daily life, do you feel that you can do something on a day-to-day basis to help the situation there?
I think very much so, and I think that operations such as this have proved it by highlighting the problem to the media in general. It highlights to the general public and to the government the real need for us as civilized countries to identify the problem, to recognize it, and to really go in with government-backed organizations and government-backed aid agencies to really go in full-hearted and not half-hearted and not, well, you know, it's not politically correct for us to assist in that particular cause because we will be seen to be backing the wrong side or whatever. So I think, you know, on a general basis that you know, local media coverage, local sponsorship of organisations such as this certainly does help.
Right. And what can you and I do this Christmas to actually support people over that? Is it our prayers? Is it not having that second piece of chocolate? What is it? Just getting up in the morning and going to bed at night? What can we do?
I think there is no shortage now, generally, of actual items of aid that are being gathered. One of the shortfalls is possibly in cash now, in order to fund more aid to go out there. I think as individuals, it's just good if everybody could say that they had done, you know, 1 hour's work towards an aid agency, whether they done, you know, I mean, there are kids in various parts of the UK that are doing, you know, sponsored swims to raise money. And I think anything in any shape or form that assists the overall cause has got to make a difference.
Right. And if they do make money, where can they send it to, Rob? In your opinion?
Specific operations like this one, Op Angel, actually are better than the big government organisations in as much as they keep the overheads down. Everybody that works for them is voluntary, and those ones really are the ones that get the full pound's worth of a coin out to the people who need it, as opposed to, without decrying other organisations, but that spend possibly 40% of the pound donated to the box on administration, you know.
And do you think that the people who are going here on this particular trip will be changed in some way?
I am almost certain that, you know, their sense of values and their sense of of satisfaction that they have contributed something positive to a cause such as this will undoubtedly have changed them. You know, some in a small way, some in much bigger ways.
Lovely. Bob, if you were to offer a message to the people of the world, what would you say to them in a couple of sentences?
I think really that this is a situation that is being ignored by major countries, governments of major countries, and it's up to us as individuals to force our MPs and our governments in general to identify the problem and not to ignore it and put it on the back burner.
Great. Bob, thanks very much.
Thank you.
These are for you, you see, so you're snack.
Yeah, but I thought we were stopping.
Jesus.
Fish down.
It is.
Very nice man.
Oh, I know a man who can.
Yeah, a man who can. Oh dear. You want me to say anything? I
couldn't stand on those juices. Is there any of those I can stand on?
No, the two.
Yeah, because if I fill this up.
To the next room. Way down.
Can I?
Yeah, completely.
Have you?
To let us know what the spare capacity is. So they had to tell us what the spare capacity is.
just waiting for Sally. Thank you. Right, for rehearsal, I'll be Sally. Sally. Ready, and go to miming. Go to miming, and go in Will.
Well, yes, Sam, we're here at the start of Operation Temporary Agility with Feather and Fox. So the programme will start off using altogether boxes. It's going to present the operation trucks. These trucks will be going on the road in just a few minutes. Many people. Hiya, Sally. Sally, who's been in our studio with us. Nice to see you again. Yeah, Sally, who's been with us with you, Anne, and Nick, and myself on the couch just a few weeks ago today. It seems like a few years. Okay, we'll do a bit more watching. Show that Sally's actually managed to organise an international Sally's managed to organise an international effort. One of the things that Sally's hoping to do is to take sick out of Bosnia, but have they got beds? Here at Veterans for Peace here.
You'll need to. Our organisation there are 5
gears up in the United States. One of the things that they don't even there he is. You better start thinking about this then. this
Yeah, come on.
Volunteers out here in the minute.
Sally's got there.
I don't believe this. Come on.
Excuse me, I'm just moving.
Oh, this is going down to the children.
Come on, go away.
Have
you no charity?
What's the matter with you?
Have you no sense of charity or what? For Christ's sake.
All I'm asking is for this road to be cleared.
Impossible. Impossible. Go and get
Within
half an hour, this road will be absolutely
Why
clear.
can't it be cleared here?
We can't.
Jobs work.
Hey, leave her.
Publicity.
Jeez.
We did a practice.
Bob down.
I said, just so you know, I feel terrible.
Sally used to jump in the van. Let's just remind you, this is obvious. There was a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of incredible energy that you could feel. But you have to pinch yourself sometimes in order to reach common human decency to get some children and others out of that terrible, terrible situation. We're here this morning and just been part of that, just helping as much as we can our viewers.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're on.
Can you get them mounted up now in your vehicles?
Sally, just take your jacket off. Mike, have you got a little box or something? Come on. Send him up. Sally, this way. Just put your hand out to the convoy behind you. So hang on, it's my little friend. Can you just hold it, though, just on your own? That's it. And bring your hand round a bit this way. That's it. Hold it. No, not yet. Not yet with the little boy. Not yet. Not yet. Sorry, can we just take you off for 1 second? And this hand out as well. This hand out. No, that's it. And Sally, this one here. Right in there, Sally.